If you're an hourly employee or have been an hourly employee in the past, then you most likely have had to work overtime and hopefully received overtime pay. It seems the perspectives on overtime shift wildly from person to person. Some people love overtime because of the additional pay they receive, and others hate it because of the additional hours they have to work. This video is specifically about the overtime pay, but let's first briefly tackle the overtime requirement. The simple answer is yes, your employer can require that you work overtime. If you are in a role that falls under the FLSA regulations and aren't exempt, then it's within your company's right to require that you work overtime. Now, certain states have laws related to overtime that you should research for your specific situation. And most companies will work with you as it relates to the overtime requirements, and they may even let groups of employees handle the scheduling needs amongst themselves. And generally, this is your best bet to avoiding overtime or getting more overtime, depending on your desires. Now, as for the pay components, FLSA does have some rules around payment. FLSA dictates that non-exempt employees must receive overtime pay for hours worked in excess of 40 hours in a work week. Additionally, this overtime pay should be at a rate not less than time and 1/2 their regular rate of pay. FLSA does not require overtime pay for working on the weekends, holidays, or on regular days of rest. When FLSA is talking about a work week, it's talking about a 7-day period, but not necessarily the typical Sunday through Saturday week. It's based on a consistent 7 consecutive day range. Also, the FLSA rules does not apply to averaging hours over multiple weeks. It is strictly on a week-to-week basis. Overtime pay also does not include any premiums that you may earn. For instance, if you work overtime on a regularly scheduled day that is also a holiday, if you earn a premium on that holiday, your overtime pay only has to include your normal base pay, not the base pay plus premium. If you have 2 jobs that push you into overtime, the base pay used should be the weighted average of your 2 separate hourly rates. Then it is time and 1/2 on that calculated rate. Lastly, overtime pay should not be waived in an employment agreement. If your employer wants to waive the overtime, you probably should be in an exempt job. As a non-exempt employee, there should not be any waiving of your right to overtime pay. For more details, read FLSA Fact Sheet number 23 and do some research on your specific state and what laws may apply there that you may have to deal with.